Amy, let me tell you about a magical place that is so exactly designed to be enclosed space, year-round fun for the whole family that I bet you already know what I'm going to say before I even say the name. Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great Wolf Lodge. You got it, Amy.
My kids loved Great Wolf Lodge when we went. You probably already know that it has a huge indoor water park with a wave pool, lazy river, a bunch of massive water slides. But then your pack can hit the other attractions because wait, there's more.
Great Wolf Lodge has adventure-packed attractions like Magi Quest, a live-action game kids can play throughout the lodge, plus the Northern Lights Arcade. Spent some quality time there, so your kid who loves the lazy river and your kid who loves fantasy games will both have a great time.
Great Wolf Lodge also offers great dining options and complimentary daily events like nightly dance parties, all under one roof. Unpack the car once and you're settled in to have fun. And with 22 lodges across the country, you're always a short drive away from adventure.
We've both had such great times at Great Wolf Lodge, so bring your pack together at a lodge near you. Learn more at greatwolf.com and strengthen the pack. We've already had a rat. We've had 12 of them. They lived in our house. One jumped out of the oven once while I was making cookies.
What fresh hell?
Laughing in the face of motherhood.
Beware the slippery slope of because we have one pet, now we need to get two.
With Margaret Abels
and Amy Wilson.
A kid doesn't mind if they're in charge, but they do not like when no one's in charge.
A podcast that solves today's parenting dilemmas
so you don't have to.
A cat is low maintenance, but it's not free.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to What Fresh Hell? Laughing in the face of motherhood. This is Margaret.
And this is Amy. And this week, we're going to solve for you whether or not your family should get a pet.
Are we going to solve what kind of pet everyone's family should get?
What kind of pet? Should you? Probably not. Spoiler alert, but maybe you're going to. This isn't for the person who knows they hate animals. Go with God.
See? Margaret, yes.
Right. Or absolutely loves animals, which means you have a pet already and good for you. This is for the I'm not really sure I want to do this, but my children are wearing me down. This episode is for you.
Can we tell who we are in that rubric?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah, that's like where we are in this because you and I have, to no one's surprise, have a separate pet owning approaches and stories and everything else. But this came from Liz, who wrote in to ask, has there been an episode about family pets? We are in the process of researching our first family pet. Liz, we are here for you. My husband and I both had pets growing up, but not since starting our own family. Thank you, Amy and Margaret, for your show. I love your mix of comedy and information.
Oh, thank you.
Get ready. Get ready for some comedy and information about pets.
And information. From me, mostly comedy, but Amy has lots of good information.
I do. But all right, but let's start with our pets. I have a 12-year-old dog named Marshmallow. She is an elderly dog. She takes like 3 medicines at this point, 1 3 times a day. I come from the future. Puppies become old dogs that require many trips to the vet. But she is an absolutely wonderful part of our family that snuggled next to me while I wrote the notes for this episode. And I'm still going to say think long and hard
about getting it.
About getting a pet. Mm-hmm. And she's like the best dog you could have. And still it's like, it's a lot. But that's where I enter this conversation.
I am a person, and I say this recognizing that this probably makes me a sociopath. I do not like animals. Never have. Don't like animals. I mean, an animal to me is like a farm in Connecticut. It seems appealing, but I don't actually want one. And yet I have two pets.
You like to look at it?
Well, I mean, I kind of want to be a person like driving in my pickup truck with my like bandana dog who's my best friend. Yeah. But I really, really do not like animals. I like to like pet a horse as I walk by. I like to see a cute dog, but I don't want any of these beings in my home.
But you have 2.
I have 2 cats. The reason I have 2 cats is because when we lived in Los Angeles, we had a rat infestation. We pulled out some planters, like concrete planters that were built up against the house. And someone told us, they put these on back in the day, but really the water collects in them and it rots the foundation of your house.
I have these right now on the terrace of my apartment building. I'm hoping there's not rats in them, but we're pretty high in the air. But you're terrifying me because I was about to get rid of these very things, like waterlogged concrete. Okay, go on.
Yeah. And so you could see why people thought they were a good idea. It's like you rim the house with a planter and then you've always got plants in front of the house, but they fill with water and they rot your house. And so we ripped them out, and out of them ran like rats. It was a rat party, and half of them came into our house. So we had a rat. And I'm not talking about like a little mouse that runs by every once in a while.
I know. This is so disgusting. Give me the short version because this is so gross. You had like multiple
giant
rats.
city black rats in the house.
Yeah, gross. Okay, all right, got it.
But one day came home and there was a cat walking around in our yard. And although I hate animals touching me or being near me, I have a strong love for animals that look cold or something. Like, I mean, I'm not a sociopath. Like, I don't want to see an animal that looks like it's suffering. So this cat was walking around our yard. It was fluffy and beautiful. And I said, oh, we'll just give it, a little bowl of food or whatever until its owner comes for it. My husband got home from work. We ended up letting the cat sleep in our house that night. Boom, night one.
Now you've
cat killed a rat.
Oh,
and I thought, wait a minute, this could be a solution.
And you still have this cat, right? All these years later.
Yeah, this cat has now been with us for a decade. And it moved to New York with us. And so I would have never gotten a cat except for this cat. I was like, wait, this cat solves a problem, and that I like. I don't mind a working animal. And so we ended up moving to New York. The cat came with us. It turned out our neighbor at some point said, oh, yeah, that cat was like a really nasty, like alley stray, and I gave it a bath, but then it ran away. So it was just a stray cat disguised as a nice cat.
As a nice cat.
But me and this cat really get along because she wanders around the neighborhood. She comes in for food. She never bothers me. We have a détente. We both hate each other, but in a very peaceful way.
I just feel like I don't understand that sort of pet ownership. Like, it's low stress on the one hand. On the other hand, you're buying like kitty litter and cat food for...
Oh, I'm not. My husband loves the
cat.
For
a creature that gives you nothing. Well, I mean, your family is. Your family's spending money on a creature that comes around once in a while.
Well...
Like, why that's fun, I'm not sure I understand.
This cat, and my husband's a cat person, and my husband and the cat get along great. The cat sleeps on my husband's feet every single night. They're like friends.
Oh, all right. So it comes home at night.
Oh, yeah, this is not like an abused animal that like everyone hates. I hate the cat, but everyone else in the family loves the cat.
But how'd you get two? We're still on one cat. How'd you get to two cats?
So then when we moved to New York, we kind of thought, I mean, this cat is just a very angry cat. And so we thought it would be better if the cat, quote unquote, had a friend. And so we adopted another cat. I was thinking, oh, it'll be the same, this like low maintenance being that barely comes around. And they hate each other. And so, but I will say cats, would I rather not have them? Maybe. But I don't interact with them at all. Taking care of a cat is very low maintenance. And so the kids do all the cat care and the kids love the cat.
So, okay. And you're doing it for the kids. I mean, in my case, I was definitely...
Well, I'm doing it for the rats, Amy, but...
But now you're doing... The second one was for the kids.
Now I make the kids do all the work for them, and they do.
Number one was for the rats. Number two is because the kids want a cuddly one. This is one of the truths of pet ownership. We're skipping ahead here because I think there are some truths of pet ownership we should get to. And one is you will get a very brief honeymoon period when you finally cave and get the kids a cat or a dog. Very brief honeymoon period where everybody's satisfied, and then starts we need a pet for the pet. We need another cat to keep the cat company. We need another dog because the dog is sad. That is a slippery slope that the dog needs a dog. And the cats hate each other, and dogs, I've seen it happen. Dogs, will bond to you, but if there's two dogs, they'll bond to each other and like forget everybody. They're not really interested in anybody in the family. They're interested in each other. So beware the slippery slope of because we have one pet, now we need to get two.
Yeah. And I will say my kids are often like, we need three. And I'm like, of course
yes,
not.
That's what I mean.
That will never happen. My daughter was on a trip with her aunt and there was a cat and she kept sending me pictures of it. Like, oh, this cat and it's my best friend. And I was like, well, you could go visit it whenever you want. That cat is not coming home.
During the pandemic, pet ownership shot up, it seemed to me, dogs in particular. So I have some statistics for you. Since the 90s, the percentage of U.S. households that have dogs and cats has increased steadily. There are currently 60 million households in the United States that have a dog in them, and 40 million households that have a cat in them. This doesn't say how many have a cat and a dog. I do not understand that, but there are lots of people who have both, right? Some percentage of those, at least 5, have a cat and a dog, which means that almost half, 45.5% of all U.S. households have a dog, and a third have cats.
I'm surprised it's that low. I feel like everybody has a dog.
I feel like that's very high. Maybe it's because some people have like 2 and 3 dogs. But yeah, almost half of the households in the United States have a dog. I was shocked it was that high. Maybe it's because I'm a New York City dweller where there are dogs everywhere, but it's also like uniquely pain in the rear to have a dog because you have to walk it. You can't let it out.
Yeah, and I live in a suburban town where like everybody has a house, 2 kids, and a dog. It's kind of like you get a dog when you move into your house. It's
just part of it, and you do it, and my kids wore me down, and we got a dog because we thought it would bring happiness to our children. And I think it did. I think it's like a truth of pet ownership. Like if your kids really want a hamster and you get one, they'll be happy. That part's going to work. It's all the other stuff that's a little more complicated.
Oh, I could never. The one thing that I could never have is an animal that lives in a cage in the house. Like, to me, that is the worst of all pet ownership.
Well, I agree with you. And this is another truth of pet ownership. That's another trap. You ready for the trap? The dog, we can't get a dog. So a dog seems like way too much hassle because somebody has to walk it and somebody has to play with it and we can't leave it alone. So instead, let's get something furry that lives in a cage that will poop just as much as the dog, but just be less interactive. And smell. So it'll poop in the cage and the cage will smell. And so it will be less fun, but you still got to clean up poop. That's what the problem with an animal in a cage. It makes you sad. For me, it's like you're actually going to do just about as much work for much less fun return on your investment.
Yeah. My daughter, I would say she was maybe 10 or 11. And she's kind of this kid. She wanted to get a rat. And she wrote like a...
Why would she want to get... You're just trying to get rid of the rats.
I was like, exactly. You go move back to LA. There's plenty of rats in that house.
What? The one animal that we've established we don't need more of. Okay. That's so funny that she was like, you know what we need?
We've already had a rat. We've had 12 of them. They lived in our house. One jumped out of the oven once while I was making cookies. I don't want a rat. But wants a rat. Takes the whole weekend and writes like a 10-page illustrated Bible of why she would be a great rat owner and why she wants a rat. And I just said 100% no. I couldn't sleep at night knowing there was a rat in this house.
I totally support that. And it is because here I think is the primary truth of pet ownership. It doesn't matter what your kids say. You will be in charge. It doesn't matter how much she wants that pet rat, how much she promises to love it and take care of it. That will last approximately 8 to 13 days.
Counterpoint.
And now you are the primary caregiver for another living being.
I have teenagers now, and they are completely in charge of the cats, and they do a decent job of it. Now, a cat is a little bit easier.
But cats are, yeah. Exactly. Like that's like putting out food once in a while. It's so much less.
It's food once a day and cleaning the cat box every other day. The cat box is the only thing we sometimes have to remind them of, but they know it's their job and they do it. And I am a person who is not above screaming, I will make soup out of the cats if you don't clean their cat box today. But a cat...
Even that, though, if you're tasking them to do one thing every other day, I would argue that that's, in fact, affirming what I'm saying, which is like no matter what, you are either doing it yourself or telling them 10 times to do it. And it gets on a higher demand animal, just means more of that.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think as kids get older, they're more capable of helping. They're never going to be like doing it all themselves.
Right. It's always helping. This is what I'm trying to say, that if you're dreading getting a pet because you know that they really want to do it and they're swearing they're going to walk, but they probably won't, like you are correct. You're right. That is how it's going to go. You're the alpha. I am definitely Marshmallow's alpha and always have been. And so therefore, your bandwidth is really a worthy consideration.
Yeah.
If your mom is sick right now and you're running her to chemotherapy appointments, don't get a dog. Don't do it. Don't do it right now. You can do it when things are better. But you are completely right and valid to be concerned that this is going to be something that falls mainly to you, the default parent, because it will. It's not good or bad. It's just true.
And for us, because of the way our family is laid out, we end up traveling at least twice a year for over a week, and sometimes 4 times a year, sometimes a summer visit to each set and then a winter visit to each set for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I said to my kids, we can't get a dog. We're away too much. And we go away for the weekends here and there. And I'm like, how would that work? We can't get a dog. I guess you would hire a sitter to come take care of the dog for weeks at a time, but a dog is a very high commitment level.
Well, I think the dog thing in particular, you're touching on another very important consideration of pet ownership, which is, are you going to continue to go places? Can I tell you more about that when we get back?
Hellions, it's time for some spring cleaning, and I don't just mean the coat closets. Doing your financial spring cleaning can actually be super easy when you let Monarch do your financial spring cleaning for you. One dashboard that gets your entire financial life organized. No more clutter, no more mess, no more logins scattered everywhere, just accounts, investments, property, and more, all in one place. Get your first year of Monarch for half off, just $50 with promo code FRESH. Monarch allows you to look not only at what you've already spent, but also to plan for the future. With Monarch, you can set savings goals, plan for big purchases, and notice spending trends before they become a problem. I can generate cash flow reports that show me what we spent this quarter, this month, what we're probably going to spend next month, and feel prepared, organized, and knowing how to plan for the future. No more surprises and a lot more clarity. Try Monarch. Use code FRESH at monarch.com to get your first year half off at just $50. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code FRESH.
All my kids learned to swim when they were little. It was super important to me that they be confident and safe in the water. There was only one problem with that, taking them to swim lessons. I mean, the pools were freezing. There were always cranky adults doing laps right there. And it was definitely not, for any of us, what you would call fun.
Amy, heard. But now there's Goldfish Swim School. Goldfish takes a really thoughtful approach to swim lessons, combining research-based teaching with a warm, kid-friendly environment that actually helps kids thrive in the water.
Every detail at Goldfish is thoughtfully designed to create a golden experience, from shiver-free, warm indoor pools to comfy waiting areas for parents to professionally trained lifeguards on deck.
Goldfish uses an approach called the science of swim play, which combines guided play with proven teaching techniques to help kids learn to swim, build water safety skills, and gain confidence, all at their own pace. Lessons are designed to meet kids exactly where they're at.
If you've been thinking about swim lessons or just wondering where to start, this is a great opportunity. Right now, Goldfish Swim School is offering a waived membership plus your child's first lesson free at participating locations.
Just visit goldfishswimschool.com/free to find a location near you and enroll using promo code FREE.
That's goldfishswimschool.com/free, promo code FREE. My favorite skincare products actually feel more like self-care, like they're so nice to put on and they smell so good that I'm actually happy when I get to that part of my day. And I swear that is how I feel about Osea's anti-aging body balm.
Amy, you are usually the lotions and potions queen on this podcast, but I have to say, hard agree.
Osea's anti-aging body balm is a liquid silk body balm that combines the lasting hydration of a lotion with the firming power of a serum, leaving skin smoother and firmer.
This body balm is clinically tested and designed to deliver visible results you can see and feel.
So we've gotten to use this product for a couple of months now, and I swear I have really noticed firmer and smoother skin, like on the back of my hands. It's like getting a mini spa treatment from head to toe.
Get a spring-worthy glow with clean, clinically tested skincare from Osea. And right now, we have a special discount just for our listeners.
Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code FRESH at OseaMalibu.com.
That's 10% off your first order with code FRESH at OSEAMalibu.com.
So before the break, you were talking about the portability of a pet. It's important to consider because once you have a pet, here's another red letter truth for you. Every time your family goes somewhere, you have a new issue. And your choices are either the pet is portable and comes with you. We got a small dog so that our small dog could come with us when we travel. But that's a thing and a thing. That's $100 to the airline. That's finding a hotel that'll take pets. That's hoping you have a dog who's okay being under the seat. I mean, it's not nothing. Or you're paying somebody to watch the dog. Or you're not going as many places because somebody has to be home with the dog. One of those three things is going to be true. And it's not just true for dogs. Like, you're going to Florida for a week. Who's going to take care of the fish while you're gone? You have to have somebody come in your house and take care of the darn fish that's just there most of the time. You have to.
I will say I had a relationship, it wasn't super serious, probably in my 20s, with a guy who had a dog. I was like, I got to end this. Like, every day was, well, if we go out, we're in Manhattan, but we have to go back to Brooklyn because the dog needs to be walked and fed. You know, even just day-to-day life with a dog, the dog has to go out 3 or 4 times a day. And then we had a dog growing up that we just let out. Even if you have like the, fencing or whatever, someone's then got to clean up the dog. Then the yard becomes like, well, you can't really play baseball because there's dog poop all over the yard.
Because nobody ever cleans up, right? Right. The kids will do it. And then all of a sudden it's like, you guys, I can't be in my own backyard. Right. Right. It's a little job or a big job.
I do find that deal breakery with the dog. I mean, I did say to my husband when any animal situation comes up, I think because having 3 kids in diapers at the same time, I'm like, I'm never touching another thing or person's poop that I don't have to, I'm not signing up.
Yeah. So the litter box is sort of, it makes it a more passive thing. If you have a fish, you still have to change the water and all that. And you think you're avoiding that, but you're not. This is an issue. This is an issue that you will own. It's the smells that come with animal ownership.
And then can we dive in a little bit on cost? I mean, you touched on it before, but I mean...
I didn't. We didn't talk about it. Well, just that it costs something, right? A cat is low maintenance, but it's not free.
Well, and suddenly you're paying somebody to come when you go on vacation and all of this other stuff.
In 2023, the average total amount spent on pets, this doesn't include getting the pet, this doesn't include the adoption cost, whatever, $1,500 annually in 2023. And, well, $1,515 in 2023 and $1,516 in 2024. Really, really flat pet ownership.
Staying consistent. No inflation on the pets.
It's a lot. It's not nothing. And it is something to consider. It is something to budget in. I would say it's the least hard part about it. That's like a little more than $100 a month for a pet that your kids love and play with every day. That's probably a pretty good investment. But what is $100 a month is still $3 a day.
I also feel like our cat who came in Los Angeles, we kept her, killed a rat. You can stay, girl. Turned out she was pregnant with like 8 kittens. She was 9 months old, so she was not old enough to successfully. I said, well, we started figuring out where we were going to get these kittens and who wanted a kitten. And she did not, she was like moaning for 2 days. It turned out she was too young to have kittens. She had to have a massive surgery. The kittens did not make it. I told my husband, whatever you do, never tell me what it cost for that cat to survive this operation, because I'm sure it was several $1,000s probably. Now, once I have a cat that is my cat, I'm not going to let it die in agony in a box trying to give birth to kittens, but they're not going to take care of it for free either. So I think that beyond the $1,500, you are going to have, she got out once when she was here, got attacked by something, got a bite on the leg. It's also just opens you up to the huge unexpected costs. And the problem right now is cat and dog medicine has become very advanced.
Let me tell you.
And so are you getting chemotherapy for your dog? Are you getting, what do you call it, a prosthetic foot made for your dog? I mean, these costs can become extremely costly. It makes for some hard decisions.
My dog currently, she takes 3 medications, 2 twice a day, 1 3 times a day. Our adherence to this, I would say, is pretty good because I have like a life to live, so we do okay. We do okay with this. We probably get what we get into her like 75% of the time. But cutting the medicine into little pieces, walking to the vet to get the refill because they forgot to call the thing into the Chewy online, whatever. It's time and care and ultrasounds for perhaps enlarged gallbladder, like that. It's stuff, it ramps up. It's a lot when they're a puppy. A lot of visits, a lot of like I remember when Marshmallow was like 10 days old, we took her to the vet and they were like, did you not see these mites in her ears? I'm like, I'm supposed to be looking inside her ears? Like, I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing.
I did not see the mites.
Yeah. And she had mites in her ears and then nothing. It's kind of like a baby, like a baby, like very intense in the first year, like lots of pediatrician visits, and then you're fine. And then all of a sudden, when they're 10, 12, you've got enlarged gallbladders.
You ramps up again.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a very chicken-friendly town. A lot of people raising chickens in the town. This has become like the hot new trend. People are having chickens. And that's a whole other kettle of fish. I mean, chickens. I feel like a working animal I can get behind. A chicken makes food. I mean, you could eat the chicken.
But that's not even is it a pet or is it a sort of a hobby to have a chicken?
Yeah, it's on the borderline. But
is it a personality trait? Chicken owning. I'm a chicken owning, Brooklyn expat.
Yeah, I don't know. Hard to say. But one thing I do think is good about pets, I mean, I think writ large, I certainly am the worst version of this, completely disconnected from nature, the realities of animals and killing animals to eat them and eating the things that animals produce. I mean, I definitely think, knowing the people who I know who grew up on a farm, they have a very different relationship with animals than I do.
It's definitely true. I'm going to say something good about a truth of pet ownership that accrues to the positive. That if you are somebody who's not just indifferent to animals, but a little bit afraid of them. Like, I got bitten by a dog when I was in 4th grade. I mean, I survived and all, but it made me like very nervous around dogs, particularly big ones. And once you own an animal, a dog or a cat, I presume, or any kind of animal, you can read them and then you can just read that animal, period. Like, now living in New York City, if I see a big dog off leash moving quickly towards me, I can tell if it's just saying hello, or you know what I mean? You can read animal behavior in a totally different way. And now I really enjoy seeing cute dogs in the street and think they're cute, and I can tell if it wants to be petted or whatever. Ask first. Always make sure your kids ask first, obviously, but you know what I mean? It's moved me from I think all dogs are highly suspicious to I think most dogs are actually pretty cute. And I think that's kind of like a nice skill to have. I don't know if it's crucial, but it's nice.
Yeah, and there's very much something about the way, there's reasons why they use animals for therapy and stuff. There are ways that you interact. I know people whose kids really struggle with dogs because you do have to be a little bit dominant with a dog to train it. Like you said, you have to be an alpha. And for certain kids, that doesn't come naturally. And you can see the way that dogs interact and they sniff out who's who in a room and they kind of figure that out. And I think there's a lot of benefits for being around animals more. I might be a better person if I had been around animals more, but I'm just not.
My friend Kiz, she's the dog trainer that taught us that you say sit once, not sit, 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 marshmallow sit, which is how we were rolling until Kiz came into our lives. But she also has told me, and that I think about this pretty much every day, and because it fits in so many circumstances, that dogs in particular, because she's a dog trainer, a dog doesn't mind if you're in charge, and a dog doesn't mind if they're in charge. But when a dog starts to growl or maybe bite or maybe be a little bit, is when I'm not sure who's in charge here, right? Is this kid pulling my tail in charge or am I in charge? When the hierarchy isn't clear, that's when a dog might act in ways that seem unpredictable. But it's because of that. It's always because of that.
See also children. That's why we talk about boundary-seeking behavior. A kid doesn't mind if you're in charge. A kid doesn't mind if they're in charge, but they do not like when no one's in charge.
Right. Inconsistent responses. And right. Exactly. And even learning that, I do think there's a value for kids in my kids teaching our dog tricks, and having to walk her. And yes, it's annoying when you have to tell them 10 times, it's your turn. I don't care that it's raining. I don't care that she doesn't want to be walked in the rain. Off you go. And then they go do it, and taking care of somebody else, something else with relatively low stakes, I think is a pretty good thing for kids to learn.
And I do think that the idea of emotional support animals has become more and more absurd while people are trying to fly with turkeys and peacocks and stuff because they need their emotional support peacock. But you've talked about this and I definitely see it. My kids do get emotional support from our cats. I've seen my teens have a bad day And I'll say, what are you doing? I don't know where they are. I'm just playing with the cat, or I'm just laying down with the cat. They'll literally go find somewhere, grab the cat and lay down. And that, in fact, last night, I just ignore the cats. I'm not involved.
You don't
with them
need
at all.
it. You don't need that.
I don't.
Right.
That's not my source
Right,
of emotional support. I don't need an emotional support peacock, as it turns out. But I was having trouble falling asleep, and the cat comes and sleeps on my husband's feet every night. And it's funny, she stays away from me. She knows not to mess with me, but she was purring. And you know, a cat purrs, but she was like, ah. She just was making this really soothing noise. And I thought, oh yeah, there's a reason why people domesticated these animals. Having a warm cat on your feet making that really soothing noise, I get it.
I second you on the emotional support. Our dog in particular, we chose a dog. We said, like, show us the one that really likes to be petted, that likes a lot of attention. And they're like, oh, Meat. They called her Holiday at the time. This one, you're going to want this one. And it was true. And that part has totally borne out. I mean, my kids come home from college now. I have a kid who just spent spring break at home because what he really wanted to do more than anything was sleep in his own bed and play with Marshmallow. That was a good spring break for him. And I was on board with that too, obviously. But it's hard to deny that that's, like, both things can be true. It was definitely as advertised from my kids. They loved this dog. It was also everything that I was, like, scratching my nails on the ground, being dragged, that it wasn't going to be way too much work and I was going to have to do more than I wanted to. And they were lying when they said they were going to do it all. And, like, that was all also true. And I think maybe just going in with your eyes open is right.
I think that's right. That both of these things are true at exactly the same time. I also think I have kids who have very good natural animal instincts and kids who don't. Kids who become dysregulated, and the animals really don't like that dysregulation. And
they don't. That's right. They don't like when their people are very upset.
Yeah. And so it is... I really understand why animals are used therapeutically, because you cannot interact with an animal if your behavior is unpredictable, if you're dysregulated. And I have seen my one child who tends more towards dysregulation. The first cat, the alley cat, is never around this child. But the new cat, they've figured out a relationship over time. And when he is dysregulated, she bites him and, like, he's like, ow, and puts her down. Not really bites, doesn't break the skin. I know, cat scratch fever, I get it. But it's been, I think, really useful for this kid to figure out how to interact with a cat. Like, it just has been extremely useful.
The cat is setting a boundary, and, like, the cat doesn't like it. And it's almost easier to take from the cat, right, than from your parents saying, you can't be like this.
Yeah, and it's somehow, it exists at this very, what's the word I'm looking for, like feral, real level. It's no debating it. It's not subtle. It's like the cat doesn't like the way you're acting right now. And so you have to find this calm place if you're going to interact with the cat, which you want to do. Very useful.
When we come back, speaking of very useful, I am as proud of this as anything that you and I have ever created. I think we should patent this. We're going to solve it for you after this with our pet decision matrix.
Amy, when I'm having a good hair day, it usually makes my whole day better. And that's why on every day, I'm taking Nutrafol.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand, and it's the #1 hair growth supplement brand personally used by dermatologists. Nutrafol's hair growth supplements are peer-reviewed, NSF certified for sport, and clinically tested.
Nutrafol offers multiple formulas for men and women, tailored to different life stages and lifestyle factors, so you get support that's actually right for you. Adding Nutrafol to your daily routine is easy. Order online, no prescription needed, with automated deliveries and free shipping to keep you on track.
Let your hair be one less thing to worry about. See visibly thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair in 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol.
For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you visit Nutrafol.com and enter promo code LAUGHING.
That's Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code LAUGHING.
At DSW, we ask the important questions, like, what shoes are you going to wear? Whether you're prepping for wedding season, festival season, or just planning the ultimate vacay, the right shoes can make or break an RSVP. So own the moment. You've got big plans, and we've got just the shoes. At the perfect price, of course. Get ready to get ready with Designer Shoe Warehouse. Head to your DSW store or dsw.com today and let us surprise you.
Your guide to choosing the right pet from the What Fresh Hell podcast.
Mommy, could I please get a hamster?
Upsides. Hamsters have cute faces, are caged for your convenience, and also you can name one of them MC Hamster.
Downsides. All night running by hamsters on tiny wheel, likely to remind you of the existential meaninglessness of all existence.
We have to get a dog.
Upsides. Dogs have cute faces, a universally acknowledged best friendiness, and fetch is very fun until the ball gets slimy.
Downsides. All the pooping and early waking of having a toddler, but it goes on forever.
For Christmas, I really want a kitty cat.
Upsides. Cute faces can be almost completely ignored. Also, purring.
Downsides. Cats have historically been believed to be able to steal your breath while you are sleeping. That's never been disproven.
I've always wanted a turtle.
Turtles have sort of cute faces. They eat leaves in a winning manner, and they are the very definition of low maintenance.
Downsides. Not exciting at all to the degree that you are likely to neglect this pet to death by forgetting that you own it.
OMG, do you know what we should get? A jaguar.
Upsides. Jaguars have cute faces and are very exciting.
Downsides. Jaguars are extremely dangerous in confined spaces. Maybe we should just get a bird.
Oh my God, seriously? You are not getting a bird. What's wrong with you?
This has been your guide to getting a pet from the What Fresh Hell podcast.
So over our many years of pet ownership, we have learned a lot, and you and I have put together, we're sharing it here first. We're probably going to patent this, but you get it first. It's our pet decision matrix. There are 4 quadrants. Picture like one of those things. I'm going to put it in the show notes. We'll put it on social media, but just so you can follow along with us if you're listening. It's one of those things with 4 quadrants. And the 2 axes, like along the bottom, is not fun in one corner all the way over to lots of fun, right? So if it's on the left, it's not fun at all. And on the right, it's the most fun thing you could have. And at the bottom, it's low hassle, super easy to take care of. And at the top, it's a huge hassle. So those are our axes, from not fun, you don't want a pet that's not fun, to so much fun. And from low hassle, sounds good, to huge hassle. You don't want a pet that's a huge hassle.
Yeah, you can make this for yourself while we're discussing it on
exactly.
a piece of paper.
So let's talk first about, because I think there's 4 types of pets. I think every pet falls into one of these quadrants, roughly, right? They're on the 2. So let's start with the one you definitely don't want. It's a huge hassle and it's not that much fun. There's nothing in this that you want here. You're going to stay away from this quadrant. I'm going to argue a fish is in this category. Because a fish, having had a couple in our lifetime, they're fun for about 15 minutes. They're fun for almost no time at all. And then they're actually a lot of work.
Fish in a bowl is the worst of all pets, I feel.
Yeah, somebody asked me, my daughter was in the hospital at one point and her teacher said she was coming to visit and she called me. She did ask first. This was definitely an opt-in. Is it all right if I bring her a fish? And I said, sure, because anything to make her happy at this moment. And she came in with the fish and it was super fun because in the hospital, every nurse who came in was like, who let this fish in here? I'm not sure this is allowed. You know, it was people were coming in to see the fish. It was so fun. As soon as we got this fish home and like the water started smelling like ammonia and like the kid never looked at the fish again. And I was dealing with cleaning this thing all the time or yelling at one of the kids to do it. And like I was saying before, if you like were leaving the house for 24 hours, somebody had to deal with the fish.
I will say you said a word earlier and I want to come back to it. A fish is a hobby. Like you have to be the person who wants to go to the fish store, test the pH levels, get the little, plastic scuba diver who's going to live with the fish.
Yeah.
You have to be real, like balance, and what's the best way to clean the algae off of the walls. You have to really be in, or you have to hire a person who's this person, who's a fish is a hobby. A fish is like a piece of art that's alive.
But don't get a fish, I guess I'm saying. Like, if a puppy sounds like too much work, we'll just get a fish. Like, actually,
No. A fish is a ton of work.
And no fun at all. So don't. So that's the example. I can't think of other examples in this quadrant, but you get it. You get it. That's what you want. Nothing that's high hassle and not fun at all. The pet has to be fun, or else why are you getting it?
Yeah. I feel like every animal is in this quadrant for me, but yes, I see what you mean. A fish is tons of work and doesn't do anything interesting. Or you can play catch with a fish once.
Right. Right. I would argue that then there's animals that are low hassle and not that much fun. And I would argue, as somebody who doesn't really like cats, that a cat is sort of in that quadrant. Easy to take care of. Like, he's outside most of the time. He hides under the bed most of the time, but he's not that much trouble. That's a cat.
Well, like any good graph, you can put anything higher and lower. Like, a cat is more fun than like a snake.
For sure. Oh, God. I think a snake is huge hassle and not fun.
A snake is huge hassle, though.
Right.
So like a turtle, that would be like low hassle.
Low hassle. Let me tell you about my sister's turtle. She, like your daughter, wrote a letter to my parents when she was 8. My sister is now in her 40s, has 4 children of her own. She got that turtle when she was, I believe, 9 years old. She still has it. Nobody knows how old the turtle is. It wasn't a baby when she got it. It's at least 37 years old, and it's living in her kitchen, and he eats fruit, and he lives under a lamp, and she has to clean out his stuff once in a while, and he just sort of exists in their house, and the kids like him. Like, he's fine. But you can't play catch with a turtle either. So he's lower hassle than a fish. Like, if she goes away for a week, yes, somebody does have to come in and like give the turtle an apple on day 3, but it's good. But I wouldn't call it fun.
No, it's not fun. It's not fun. I would say a cat is higher on the fun scale than a turtle, but I agree. A cat has a kind of a different job than fun. It's either a working cat, like a barn cat, or it's
fluffy petable.
Sits on your lap and keeps an old lady company.
It depends on the cat, right? Your cat may vary. Like, I really don't understand the cats that hide from everybody, but the cat that, like, my brother and sister-in-law have a cat that is kind of dog-like. Like, it wants to be around you, and it's got a lot of fur. It's cute. I'm like, okay, this is a cat I can jive with.
Yeah, I mean...
So your cat may vary.
Again, I like an animal with a job. They keep the mice out of my house. I like a cat.
So let's go to the quadrant that is lots of fun, but huge hassle. And I have Moo Dang in this category, which is the baby pygmy hippo that's taken over Instagram, who is like hilarious. And she's trying to like bite her owner while they're cleaning her and stuff. Like, she's tons of fun. She has millions of followers on Instagram, but you wouldn't want to be Moo Dang's mommy because she's huge hassle.
Be a lot of work. Be a full-time job.
That's almost definitely a bad idea. Like, a jaguar would be pretty interesting.
Well, I mean, I think the ultimate version of this, although we're not solving for cost, a horse is a lot of fun and a huge hassle, right?
Very good. Right. This is a real world example. Right.
But I don't want a horse. Right. But a horse is a job. I mean, it's not like...
A horse is a lifestyle. That's right.
It's a hobby. It's a job. And it's also an enormous expense.
Yeah, and it has to go live somewhere else, and then you have to go visit it and have other people take care of it, unless you have a barn in your backyard, which is kind of specific.
But then you've got like 3 people working to take care of the horses. I mean, a horse is a full-time job.
I always think with horses, too, when I go to see them, the horse people are going to come at me for this, that they're sort of like, oh, hi, like nice to see you. Like, they're happy to see you, but they're fine. It's probably because I can't read horses.
Yeah, I mean...
But they seem kind of like, whoever you are, you seem nice. They seem kind of fine.
Horses are one of those things. We were somewhere, you and I, and there were stables, and I was like, oh, this seems like the most glamorous lifestyle in the world, like having a horse. I don't want a horse. I don't want anything to do with a horse.
I do like petting them once in a while and giving them
I mean, it was
apples and
amazing.
carrots.
When I see them, I'm like, I've got to quit my life and become a horse person, but it's not happening.
And I will say, like, taking your kids to see horses or taking your kids to the zoo or even to the pet store is a great way to delay pet ownership, but it's not really the same thing.
Yeah, I will say we foster dogs occasionally it's a place that trains seeing eye dogs, and we take them for the weekend because they want them to socialize with families rather than just always be like at work. And it was a nice way to have a dog in the house every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. And were the kids like, did you see their enthusiasm wane over 48 hours or were they pretty
I
into
had
it?
a whole other problem, which is complicated, that they're working animals. And so they were not that fun. You know, I always said it was like having an angry middle manager in the house. The kids finally figured out that the only way the dog was fun, like you can't play catch with them. They're trained for a very different role in the world. And so the only way the kids could have fun with them is they would bury themselves under blankets and the dogs would rescue them. And so that was cute. But again, it was tricky.
This is the thing. It's lower hassle to borrow a dog than to own one, but then it wasn't that fun. Finding the right hassle fun thing is so important, which is why I want everybody to concentrate on the final quadrant of our pet decision.
But before we move there, we should say dog is clearly in lots of fun, huge hassle category.
Again, your dog may vary because I would say Marshmallow is a medium hassle, although she's become more of a hassle as she's gotten like older. But people call her like cat-like dog. She's the dog that sells dog ownership.
Yes, she is a cat adjacent dog.
But who am I like trying to argue the other side of her not being a huge hassle? When all along I've been like, I knew she was going to be a hassle and she was. I was right all these years. You're right. All right. So the last quadrant in this, which is the one you want to go for, right? So obviously you want to find the pet that is low hassle and lots of fun. Not a lot of effort, and it's going to be a party every day for your kids. There is no such pet.
Yeah.
There is no such pet in this category. I
think
forth.
that's probably true. Low hassle,
we thought about
lots
it.
of fun pet. Yeah, maybe one of those Tamagotchis. Remember those eggs that were popular when we were kids?
Battery operated.
They were like a robot that you had to take care of.
I mean, they can be lots of fun for like, again, 15 minutes, about as long as a fish.
Yeah.
It's not the same. So you're solving for the lowest hassle and most fun pet you can get for your kids, keeping in mind that the perfect low hassle, lots of fun animal might not exist.
Or you're accepting where you want to be on this grid.
In this grid. That's right.
That you're saying like, I want to have a lot of fun with a pet. Therefore, I'm going to get a dog. I would agree that a cat is not as fun as a dog. Or I'm a millionaire and I want to ride my pet around. I'm going to get a horse and hire 8 people to help me take care of it. Or I want to have a living being in the house for the kid to relate to, but I want low hassle. I'm going to get a turtle.
Right. And I want it to never be an issue of my kid having to learn about death at a tender age. Get a turtle. Get a tortoise. You're all set.
That's the other thing. I mean, before we close, check the life expectancy on these things and check the gender. My roommate, when I was in my 20s, got 2 birds, and the pet store told him they were 2 female birds. And it was a nightmare. I mean, I hated living with birds. A caged bird, ugh, terrible pet. For me, I couldn't stand it. Of course, it was a male and female bird, and soon we had like 65 birds, and we could not get rid of these birds. I was like, can we just open the windows and let these birds fly away?
Do the eggs, just like a lot of eggs, appear one day? I'm curious how this happened.
Well, one egg appears, and then we're like, wait a minute, how do eggs work? I think that the females just release eggs, whether or not they're fertilized, it'll be no problem. And then there's like 6 eggs, and we're still going with our theory that these are just unfertilized eggs until they start hatching.
Awesome. So do your homework, but I honestly think that you're not wrong to think that this might be a lot of work for you, default parent. And also, your kids aren't wrong that it could be awesome and really fun. And you said something long ago that I wanted to make sure that we closed on. There should be an true animal lover in the house.
Yes, absolutely.
Like for me, it really was. One of my kids, I wasn't that into animals, didn't have them growing up. My husband didn't either. One of my kids like looks deeply and soulfully into the eyes of every single animal he has ever met. And that made it possible to have somebody who really loved the dog.
Yeah. My husband is that person with the cats. I mean, he is so deeply bonded with both of our cats. I am so not bonded with either. I want our cats to be happy and warm and safe because
you have them, right? Yeah. Right.
I'm a decent human being, but an animal needs love. And I could never love any of our animals. And so I outsource that. My husband and 1.5 of my kids really
That's
love
enough.
the cats.
That's probably what you can go for. Well, Liz, I hope this helps you as you're putting together your own decision matrix. You can just use ours. We're going to put it on Facebook, Instagram. We'll link to it in the show notes for this episode. And before we go, we wanted to tell you that we are on Spotify. And you might not listen to this on Spotify. Maybe you do. If you do, please follow us there and rate us there. If you don't listen to podcasts on Spotify, usually, I don't, but I do have Spotify. I use it for music and stuff sometimes. Come find us on Spotify. Follow us. Leave us a rating. It'll help us grow on Spotify.
And with that, thanks so much for listening, friends. We will talk to you next time.
So long.